Hi everyone, thanks so much for watching. So today I'm here to show you this soft summer glam makeup look. It's really great. It's not that glammy, but it can be used for every day, and you can tone it down a little bit more for every day, or you can tone it up just depending on what you want to do. But I am loving this look right now, so I thought I would share it with all of you. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into the tutorial. Okay, let's get started. So glasses off, which means I can't see as well, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so first off, I already washed and moisturized my face, so that is ready to go. Next up is foundation, and I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Cushion foundation in the shade 20, which is Classic Ivory. I recently had another beauty YouTuber use this, and I'm like, oh, I'll give that a shot because I really liked the way it looked on her, and now I love it. So it's got a cute little mirror, but I just use a brush, like a flat brush, kind of dip it into the cushion, and then use that to apply. So I really do like this product. It's very natural finish. It kind of looks like my skin but better. It applies really nice. It's kind of definitely more light coverage. And you can build it up to be more coverage, but it's just very, like I said, it looks like my skin but better, which I really like. And then just make sure I blend it on the jaw too, so it doesn't look like there's a distinct line. This mirror is tiny. I usually do my makeup in front of a large mirror, so this is definitely new territory for me. And then any areas that are more, like I have a lot of scarring on my chin, so I usually make sure I do that area really well, and then right now I have some on my cheek as well, so I'm just trying to make sure I layer up some of the coverage there. So yeah, one of the other reasons, I kind of briefly mentioned this earlier about it kind of looking like my skin but better, but I really like that because I don't like I like to look like myself still when I put makeup on, so that's kind of like a big thing for me. I'm going to, right now, before I put concealer on, I've been having issues with my under eye creasing, so with whatever powder is left on this brush that I usually set my face with, or my under eye with, I'm just going to make sure it's not like super oily right there so that the concealer applies evenly, hopefully, and doesn't crease. And then I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15 Fair, which is definitely pretty light, but it works for my skin tone. And so then with concealer, I don't go all the way around my eyes, so what I like to do is like a triangle underneath, which really highlights the right part of your face and blends it. I also do some on my nose and the middle of my forehead, just kind of in a V. I'm not using super contest, I'm not trying to be like super cover everything, just enough to kind of conceal it. And then I also do it on my my eyelid as well, to get that prepped for a shadow. And then I just use my finger to blend this one out. And then what you do, I like to stipple it more than Bobby, because Bobby can kind of take a big move makeup where it needs to be, and this way just blend it a little bit more. A little bit of stuff. But it helps blend it out. And then also, like, when I stand up, my nose and too much, I was kind of take the brush out and blend it out. Okay, so now that we are concealed, it looks a little drastic, but it will blend out. This lighting is kind of highlights all of the changing, but I'm then going to take my NYX HD Finishing Powder in the shade Banana, and I'm going to set my under eyes with that. And I just kind of use this concealer brush. It's just a really nice shape for me to get in that area, and I just kind of, again, like to bounce the brush, not like rub, so it can kind of deposit the powder. And then I also do it across my eyelid as well to, again, prep for shadows, so that's dry. So the under eye is set. Next up, I'm going to be setting my entire face. I do really like the finish that this foundation does, but it does leave me feeling a little sticky / wet because it is a liquid foundation. But I'm just going into my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and this is translucent. It does not have any color to it. And so I just kind of brush this all around my face to set the foundation down so it does not move or budge. Alright, next up is bronzer, and I'm going to go into, this is, I don't even know if they sell this anymore, but this is the Maybelline Dream Sun Bronzing Powder. I don't even know if it has a shade. It probably does, but I couldn't tell you what it is. I don't even know, again, I don't know if they sell this. It's pretty old. It was a gift from somebody, so I don't even know how old it is. But I'm going to go into it with my bronzing brush, and I just like to sculpt out my face a little bit, so I go like under the cheekbone. Basically where you would do like contouring, but not like, this is super subtle. And then I'm going to go underneath my chin, and then I go around my hairline as well, so like on my forehead, just to, it just kind of brings a little bit more life and sun back into my face and a little on my nose. This color is not very dramatic at all, but it's just enough to make it look a little bit more of a natural glow to my face instead of just, you know, pasty. So then I also take whatever's left and go under my nose, which helps to kind of just shadow it a little bit. Next up is blush, and I use the Tarte. This is their, I think their 12-hour blush in the shade Ornate. I have the tiny version because I got it like in a gift set. But this stuff is so pigmented, it lasts me forever. Like, you can kind of still see, I don't know if it will focus, but it still has like the indentation, like the design that they made into it. That's how, and I've been using it for 8 months now, so that's how little I actually use. As you can see, it's pretty pigmented. So I just put a little bit on my brush and I sweep that across the top of my cheeks just to bring some color back. And if you go a little heavy-handed, again, start light and then you can build it up. But if you go heavy-handed, you can kind of blend it out with your powder brush. So, and then a little bit, again, I just touch my nose with it just to make it look a little more natural. And that's that. So I am gonna kind of just blend those two a little bit with whatever's left on my powder brush. So now that that's all set, I generally go into my eyes. So I am going to start with brows, and I have, this is called the BrowGal by Tanya Crooks. Again, this is a sample travel size that I have, but it really works. So I'm just going to use this to kind of just brush through and set my eyebrows a little bit. Just make them look a little evened out. This is like a tinted brow gel, I think. It does have microfibers in it, so I don't really notice the microfibers. I don't think it's very dramatic at all, but it does help my, just to kind of shape them a little bit. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to actually go into my eyes and do some eyeshadow. So my favorite go-to this summer has been the colors from the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I really love this palette. It's just really pretty everyday colors. As you can tell, it's very well loved. My mom bought it and then we shared it just because we loved it so much, and it is a little pricier, so we like to share things when we can. So I'm going to just go into this color right here, which is called Sweetheart, and that is just like a very soft, natural looking kind of mauvey pink, I guess, and I'm just going to kind of put that all over the lid with my brush, not my blush. Making sure I get into the crease as well. I'm just kind of using this as a transition shade to layer the other colors on top of. Alright, so now that my lids are covered with that color, I'm then going to go into the next one over, which is Rebel. I really love this coloring on me. I have kind of experimented. People with green, I have green eyes, and people always say like, oh, use purple if you have green eyes. I really don't like purple on me. It's the cool tone. I just don't like it. I really like the warm tones on my skin. So I'm really loving these, like this mix. So that's called, again, that color is called Rebel, and I'm just dipping very lightly and then kind of brushing it off, but I'm going to start like kind of really lightly applying this pigmentation on the outer third of my eye and into the crease. This brush is pretty fluffy, but I don't like it to be super dark. It's just kind of more of an everyday look, and I don't want it to be like crazy. So this is really just deepening the color and kind of adding some dimension to my eye instead of just being that all over color. So it's kind of shadowing where natural shadows would be in the eye shape, and just kind of making it a little bit more noticeable. So yeah, there's that, and it just kind of elongates but opens up my eye, and I love the way this looks. If you're feeling really adventurous, you can go in a little bit with leader, like a tiny smidge. I'll do like a little bit just on the very outer corner. I don't know, I really like the shadow, the kind of effect it gives. It's a little bit more dramatic. So then I just kind of get any excess off my brush and then just kind of use it to blend everything pretty seamlessly together. So yeah, there's that one. So that's all of the color I'm going to use. And then I'm going to go into my other Tarte palette. You could totally use the color in here, either Firecracker or Funny Girl for a shimmer. Those two both are gone because it was our favorite color, and it also broke over time because we dropped the palette so many times. But you could use the same color in this palette. I just obviously don't have any. So I'm going into my other Tarte palette, which is just like one of their little travel palettes, and this is the color Crush. It's just basically like a really subtle shimmery gold color. I just like having a little bit of shimmer on my eye. So I'm just using my finger to apply that all over the lid, keeping it lower towards the lash line. I don't want to blend it too far up into my crease at all, but this is going all over the lid. So it really doesn't take much, which is nice because it makes that color last longer. And then I'm just going back with my brush and just kind of blending out any lines from that so they just kind of go blend seamlessly together. So that's it for the eyeshadow. Next up is going to be eyeliner, and I use the Maybelline New York Unstoppable. I believe it's a crayon. It's their eyeliner. It's not, like, it's kind of buttery when it goes on, which I like. It's not super, like, hard, which a lot of eyeliner pencils are, and I don't know how people do that. But I go in and just kind of follow the lash line. So my rule with eyeliner that I really like, that I found that works best with my eye shape and really pulls my eye forward, instead of, you don't want to outline the whole thing in black. It really can kind of set your eye back, unless you have a particular eye shape or face shape that you like that with. I don't like how closed that makes my eye look, so that by doing it this way, it really opens up my eye. So I'm gonna basically, so if you put your finger in, I'm gonna do everything on that side of my finger. So I'm gonna line like the top 2/3 out, and then I'll do just kind of like a small dash underneath without connecting the two, and that really opens up the eye. And so the way I do it is I get as close to the lashes as possible, the closer I get towards the inside of my eye, and then it kind of, the line gets wider as it goes toward the outside. Okay, so I did that on the top, so I don't know if you can kind of see how I did that, but then on the bottom I'm just going to do a very, like a dash, like literally a finger's width along the bottom. And I just kind of do it faint. So again, this really opens up the eye if you don't connect the two. So I didn't bring the liner on the bottom all the way to the end. I just kind of did that small dash on the bottom to just kind of make my lower lashes look fuller. So I'm going to do that with my other eye really quick, and we'll get on with the rest of the tutorial. Okay, so next up is mascara, and I'm currently using and loving Maybelline. I'm using a lot of Maybelline lately, and I've really been loving it. So this is all stuff that you can find except for the Tarte palette, which you could easily imitate these colors with a cheaper palette as well. But all of these products are things that I found at a drugstore, so they're pretty inexpensive. But I use the Maybelline currently, the Total Temptation mascara. I have been in the shade, I think it's, oh, my glasses on. Oh, it doesn't say what color it is, but it's black. But I love, 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 love this mascara. I was actually asked once if I was wearing false lashes, which I'm like, that's not a bad thing to have with a mascara, right? If your lashes look that full. But I have blonde eyelashes, so you literally cannot see them until I put mascara on them. So I do have a decent amount of eyelash. I'm not going to talk while I do this because it takes me a little while, because I like to make sure all of my eyelashes are perfectly separated and fanned out, so it's hard to do that when you're talking. Alright, there you have it. So mascara is applied. We are almost finished. I have 2 more things to apply. So next up and almost last is my highlighter. I've really been liking this in the summertime. I just think it's really nice touch to add a little bit of natural glow back to your face. So I've been using the Tarteist Pro Glow. I got this in like a little subscription box. Come on, focus. But this is in the shade Sparkler, which I feel like is a little dark for me because when I put it on my skin, so it's a liquid highlighter, so I put a little tiny bit on the back of my hand and then rub it in and use my finger to apply. So as you can see, it's very It's pretty pigmented. It's kind of goldy. It's got some gold undertone, but I just use my finger to apply, and then I just kind of press it into my skin. I don't rub. I don't know why. I have an aversion to rubbing, clearly. So I just put this across the tops of my cheeks and kind of in a C shape around my eyebrow, my eyes. I don't go super high up on. I keep most of the product on my cheek and then just kind of bring the rest up to up on my forehead, but I don't go like too far in the middle of my forehead, if that makes sense. Then if there's anything left on my hand, I'll just kind of press it into my cheek a little bit, because that's where I like the highlighter to be mostly. And then anything left I kind of drag down the tip of my nose and put a tiny bit on my cupid's bow, like so. So yeah, I really like that bit of highlighter. And then just to kind of blend it, I go back in my powder brush and just kind of lightly blend over the top. So that's that. I am going to put my glasses back on so I can see what I'm doing now. But so that's the look so far. I am going to add a little bit of lip color. So I'm just going to take whatever is wet and get the foundation off my lips. It looked really funny. But yeah, I am going to go in with, this is actually an Aveda lip color. It's a lip gloss, and I really love this color. This is called Morning Rose, and it's just this really pretty natural pink. It's going to look deeper in the camera than it is in person, but it is pretty pigmented for a lip gloss. I feel like most lip glosses I've tried are really sheer, but I just love this color. So, there you have it. I love this color. It's so pretty. So again, this is Aveda's Nourish Mint Lip Glaze, and I will link that in the description box below, which, by the way, all of the products that I used I will link in the description below and in the blog post this video is attached to, so never fear, you can find everything. So then I just give my face a once over, see if there's anything I'm missing, which there's not. I really like the way everything turned out and the way the eyes blended. So there you have it. That's just my like very soft glam summer look. I hope you enjoyed it.